Although Xiao Yin knew from the mouth of his master, the Golden Dragon King, that Su Shuiying had just used the power of the source of holy flame, he was really shocked. As we all know, the different fire is the power born in this world. Even the first 3 flames on the Do Qi continent's list of different fires do not have such a terrifying source power. The terrifying source power of this blue holy flame. Frozen the Throne is really strong and outrageous. Even in the deepest part of the ruins, there is a terrifying prohibition in the Emperor's Stone Chamber that suppresses the strength of the 4-star Do Emperor, and the blue flames are overwhelming. And then the fierce corpse gas and skeletons in the air are instantly frozen under the extremely hot temperature. Sealed up. Even the skeleton of a man as strong as an emperor can be frozen. Xiao Yin couldn't help his scalp tingling as he looked at this appearance. Even if the fierce corpse aura emanating from the bones of the emperor did not reach the strength of a 7-star fighting emperor, it would not be too inferior. Xiao Yin had expected that the holy flame was definitely not simple, but he did not expect that the origin of this holy flame would be the power can even freeze the vicious corpse aura. You must know that the vicious corpse chi was originally invisible and colorless, but due to too much corpse chi, it was entrenched in the air to form a radiating energy light group, and the energy light group was comparable to the 5-star Do Emperor powerhouse. Holy Flame can even freeze this corpse energy. The power of Holy Flame is well-deserved. I just don't know if there's any difference between my strange fire and holy flame. What is the same thing? Xiao Yin also muttered to himself. Although he had many doubts in his heart, he was quite concerned about his own strange fire. She is confident, but it is impossible to directly talk to Su Shuiying about this kind of question, otherwise she will be treated like a fool. When the terrifying blue flames attacked, Xiao Yin also felt that the space around him was filled with scorching heat. The originally ferocious corpse aura was instantly frozen in midair, and a long ice-like ice block appeared out of thin air in midair, and then the skeleton was also frozen tightly. Under the terrifying high temperature, I feel the cold that goes deep into my bones. Even the vindictive energy all over his body was condensed into an ice fog. Fortunately, Xiao Yan's timely operation was because he was covered in vindictive energy, so that the blue flames would not invade the ice fog. This is what a real holy flame should look like. But if this little girl wins, the frozen area will be even stronger. While Xiao Yin was amazed, the voice of the Golden Dragon King suddenly rang in the ring. I heard from the master that there is something unsolved by the master here, and there's also a holy flame. Hearing the words of his master, the Golden Dragon King, Xiao Yin also looked forward to the holy flame. As the power of the holy flame erupted in Su Shuiying's body to relieve the crisis, a feeling of weakness immediately emerged from the body, and the originally bright red face was also slightly pale. She was using a huge amount of strength to suppress her strength, and the Qinglian under her feet burst into a dazzling light at this moment, as if she was restoring the fighting spirit in Su Shuiying's body. Sensing the changes in her body, Su Shuiying finally had some moving expressions in her clear mu. Success, Su Shuiying said weakly to Xiao Yin, because she also knew that although her holy flame source of freezing power was strong, she would not have succeeded without Xiao Yan's feint. Now her strength has been suppressed too much since she entered the ruins. The strength of the peak of the Samsung Do Di is not enough to display the real power of the source of holy flame. Now, this may only be regarded as the power of false holy flame, but it also puts a lot of load on your body. Are you all right? Xiao Yin also looked at Su Shuiying with a pale face and couldn't help but ask, and then the ring on his hand flashed, and several high-level medicinal pills flew towards Su Shuiying out of thin air. Su Shuiying was not hypocritical. She opened her mouth after taking the medicine pill and swallowed it instantly. Just after swallowing the medicinal pill, a stream of extremely gentle energy was decomposed from the medicinal pill and spread out throughout the body to nourish the slightly weak body. With her eyes, she could see at a glance that this pill is not low level, and it is now in the deepest part of the ruins. There are inevitably some unknown mysteries, and restoring strength is the most important thing. Oh, there are such treasures that can both attack and defend. It seems that this little girl's background is not weak. Seeing Qinglian slowly exuding an extremely pure force nourishing Su Shuiying, entrenched in Xiao Yin, the Golden Dragon King in the ring was also a little surprised and immediately smiled. His fingers swung a little into the air, and a brilliant beam of light directly wrapped Xiao Yin. Buzz! The beam of light wrapped Xiao Yin, and Xiao Yin only felt that a strong force was repairing the exhausted fighting spirit in his body. Although the immediate crisis was temporarily lifted, no one could guarantee that the Emperor would have any tricks. Is also careful to make the Wanyan ship immediately. The azure flames from the azure lotus that Su Shuiying was treading on her feet madly moved towards her body, and azure rays of light appeared on her body. As the fighting qi recovered a little, the light beams wrapped around Xiao Yan's body also dissipated. In the end, even the dead 7-star Do Emperor Peak powerhouse showed up. Grab the things and leave quickly. It's better not to stay in this ghost place for a long time. Su Shuiying's exhausted grudge was almost recovered. Seeing Xiao Yan's actions, she also followed Qinglian. The two ignored the ferocious corpse aura that had long been frozen in ice cubes, and then walked straight from the stone entrance to the place where the skeleton was located. Just as he approached skeleton Jiangsu, Xiao Yin felt a piercing cold, and then Xiao Yin instantly summoned a strange fire to cover his body to resist the remaining frozen power of the holy flame. 10 steps. 3 steps. Step 2. 1 step. Xiao Yan's pupils shrank tightly when he looked at the frozen skeleton from a close distance. The original jade-white skeleton appeared even more crystal silver and antimony after being frozen, and the blood-red blood mist emitted by the blood essence around the skeleton was actually frozen. Be careful. There will inevitably be problems. Xiao Yan suddenly turned his head and greeted Su Shuiying. After all, the ruins of the Emperor did not play cards according to the routine, so he had to be careful. I'll give you the blood and take it out. I'll help you around, but be careful. The power of the source of the holy flame is no trivial matter. Su Shuiying also spoke slowly, apparently using the power of the source of the holy flame is still there. Somewhat exhausted, Xiao Yan was also a little surprised when he heard this. Originally, this woman was very defensive about her, but now she is like this. But Xiao Yan also knew that this was not the time to think about this issue, and immediately looked at the few drops of blood on the chest of the frozen skeleton. Let's see where you're going now. Xiao Yan looked at the skeleton that was frozen inside and outside, and the drop of blood on his chest was slowly beating, which seemed to have life. The power of the source is still beating vividly under the ice. Although the power of the holy flame has been suppressed a lot, it is also the real power of the holy flame, but this really shows the power of the blood of the Emperor. Xiao Yan was also shocked and said, "This drop of blood essence was condensed by the lifelong essence of a 7-star Do Emperor Peak powerhouse, and the terrifying power emanating from this blood essence alone is enough to show that the powerhouse of this powerhouse is sky high." But it's strange. When I saw this skeleton for the first time, it seemed that there were several drops of blood essence. Why is there only 1 drop now? Xiao Yin looked at the skeleton with his eyes, and just about to reach out to take the blood essence from his chest, he felt a trace of extremely hot temperature from the ice cube. Seeing this appearance, Xiao Yan's fingers that had stretched out his hand were also instantly withdrawn, and then the milky white flames covered his hands, and he roared away at Du's chest with lightning speed. Bang, bang, bang. When Xiao Yan just touched the blood fog ice cubes on the outermost layer of the frozen skeleton, he felt a death-like smell from the blood fog through the power of ice sealing. The strength, I felt the extremely hot temperature from the blood fog ice cubes, and the milky white flame in my hand seemed to be a little afraid, and then I increased the strength of the flame and continued to move forward. Xiao Yan also didn't care about the terrifying temperature. He forcibly broke through the outermost layer of blood fog ice cubes, and then went straight towards the drop of blood on his chest. Bang, bang, bang. When Xiao Yan's milky white hands touched the layer of frozen power inside, a chill came from his heart, and then Xiao Yan's fingers suddenly turned into ice cubes. Damn it, you actually ignore my strange fire? Xiao Yan was also greatly surprised. Although Su Shuiying's holy flame was ranked 23rd, the power of flame in her body was also a fusion of the new flames of the 13 kinds of different fires are not as powerful as the former, and it is impossible for them to be so different. Xiao Yan's palm, wrapped by the milky white flame, also slowly turned into a block of ice at this moment. The strange thing was that the milky white flame was not extinguished. It was still beating. Go! Su Shuiying also looked at Xiao Yan with her beautiful eyes, and then she drank lightly, and immediately the green lotus that her jade feet stepped on turned into a ball of light that hit Xiao Yan directly. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that my holy flame's frozen power will be attacked by everyone except me. Su Shuiying also said gently with a hint of apology. When the light group on Su Shuiying's body slowly appeared on Xiao Yan's palm, which was frozen into ice cubes, Xiao Yan also felt that the icy cold on his palm disappeared instantly, and he couldn't help frowning, and then he couldn't care about the power of holy flame. Go straight to grab the blood essence at the skeleton's chest. Boom! Xiao Yan also shrank his pupils tightly, then looked at Su Shuiying in surprise. How is that possible? The purpose of Xiao Yan's just wrapped the milky white flame on his palm was to isolate the power of the holy flame, and then grab the blood essence from the skeleton's chest. But the strange thing was, Xiao Yan's palm actually pierced through his blood essence. Su Shuiying's eyes moved slightly, apparently thinking about something. Master this? Xiao Yan was also full of disbelief, but he didn't panic and hurriedly asked his master Jinlong King for help. You kid, you can't eat hot tofu in a hurry. If the blood of the emperor is so easy to get, what is the blood of the emperor? This is the blood of the 7-star fighting Emperor Peak. The Golden Dragon King also looked at the one. Xiao Yan, with a dazed face, couldn't help laughing. The blood essence condensed by the peak powerhouses of the 7-star Do Emperor already has the same high level of intelligence as the medicine pill. Did you see a few drops of blood essence when it was just fused with a part of it, and then on top of the skeleton? Yes. Hearing his master say this, Xiao Yan couldn't help but recall that he seemed to have seen several drops of blood essence on the skeleton's chest just now. Why is there only one drop now? That's the trick it's set up to protect itself. Don't worry. I see that there seems to be something on this little girl who really needs this drop of blood. The Golden Dragon King also took a careful look at Su Shuiying and said, hearing what his master said, Xiao Yan couldn't help but stare at the drop of blood essence on the skeleton's chest. The blood-red blood was slowly swimming in the empty chest of the skeleton. Xiao Yan also did not believe in evil and grabbed the essence and blood, but his palm went straight through the essence and blood. I'll try. Su Shuiying stepped forward slowly with her jade feet on Qinglian, and then raised her slender jade hand to grab the blood essence of the skeleton's chest. Boom, boom, boom. What Xiao Yan imagined to penetrate the past was not discovered, but a strange scene appeared. When the blood-red blood essence hit Su Shuiying's jade hand, it jumped violently, and then calmed down and slowly lay flat on her hand. It seems that we are really destined. Su Shuiying looked at a drop of blood-red blood essence on her palm and couldn't help smiling, showing a smile that was enough to charm all beings. The same resonance. Master this. Xiaoyan also frowned, looking at Su Shuiying's attitude. This drop of blood is definitely going to cause a conflict. Is it still going to be a fight in the end? Little Yanzi, I will give this drop of blood to this little girl. In my opinion, I have a good relationship with this little girl now, and you can go back and get some of the original after you are strong enough. The things that belong to you will be much easier for you with her help. After speaking, the Golden Dragon King kept silent, as if he was afraid of leaking. Xiaoyan also understands that his master, the Golden Dragon King, is for his own good. If there are some mysteries, it is better not to know if he does not have enough strength. Otherwise, it will lead to the disaster of killing. It doesn't matter. Xiaoyan also struggled violently, and now he and Su Shuiying are indifferent, because if they fight now, he may not necessarily be Su Shuiying's opponent. Not to mention Xiao Yan has also seen the power of Sheng Yan's source. The Emperor's blood essence contains the strength of this senior's life. If he can absorb it this time, his strength will surely increase a lot. Xiaoyan still thought to himself. Xiaoyan's heart moved, and he looked at the drop of blood-red blood that appeared in Su Shuiying's palm. As soon as this drop of blood appeared, the energy of the surrounding heaven and earth violently rioted. Xiaoyan could clearly feel that Su Shuiying was the leader. In the center, the space in this stone room is 100 feet in radius, and it seems that all the energy has escaped far away. As expected of the blood of the Emperor, he is actually domineering to such a degree. Feeling this scene, Xiaoyan couldn't help but smile. This was the first time he had seen such domineering energy. Even the energy of heaven and earth was driven away. Although it's a bit presumptuous, I must get the blood of the Emperor. Su Shuiying was also trying to regain a tough attitude, and then looked at Xiao Yan's aching face and said, "But as a price, I can make a promise with you. About the Shao clan's covenant you want to know."